How's it going, everyone? Jay here, and I am here with my good friend VJ. We are both realtors. Yes, that's right. This is the podcast that we're gonna try very, very hard not to talk about real estate. But my guest is a realtor. I'm a realtor. Something might come up, but I'll try to reroute and bring us back. So VJ is with Keller Williams Ocean. And he is actually one of the owners there. Yeah, so he's one of the big dogs. So all you kids out there that need a brokerage or looking to become a realtor, this man right here, you need to talk to him.
Call me.
He's the head is just not a pretty head. He's got a lot up there. So VJ has been a realtor for almost over 17, I guess.
Yeah.
How many transactions do you think you've done?
Honestly, I haven't tracked properly, but
it's a good number to kind of
hundreds. Call it that.
That's good. Right? And do you know like dollar value of how much real estate you sold?
Honestly, off the top of my head, no.
Obviously millions.
Yeah. Probably, I don't know. Maybe 100 million. I don't know.
I think it's probably more than that.
Something like that. I don't know.
If you've done 100 transactions, average the price at 100.
But when I started, you got to remember,
prices were
commission was $3,000 to $5,000.
Yeah.
$5,000 on a detached home.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it is now.
So you might have, maybe your numbers are correct.
I was every year probably doing 10 to 20 deals.
That's good numbers.
That's pretty average. Like if I want to average it out.
Mm-hmm.
When I started, I was lucky. Like it came out of the gate, and business was just coming to me.
No. So here's what, we're not going to talk about real estate, but we're going to talk about this exact stuff on the business standpoint. And we're going to talk about how you can apply what he has done in real estate, and apply it to your own jobs and to your own entrepreneurship, into your own businesses, and how he hustled and grinded to get to where he is, and being one of the owners of a very prominent real estate brokerage here in the Lower Mainland. So continue on. Sorry. So how you said you had some deals coming just randomly?
Yeah, I really didn't have any system. So when I got into business, Jay, it was like no one would teach you anything. They just
I think it's still
no, well, it isn't where we are.
It depends on what brokerage you're at.
So that is actually what motivated me to do this. Get into the brokerage business was because everyone used to ask me for help.
Yeah.
And I used to openly just share what I knew, right? Because that's just how I am.
Yeah.
Right? Just, hey, this is what I know.
Versus there's a lot of brokerages out there where people just protect. And it's not just about brokerages and real estate. It's a lot of different businesses out there.
It's a mindset. Yeah. Okay, so some people have a closed mindset. They see everyone as competition.
Yeah.
Right? They don't want to share their knowledge with other people because, they think it's a Cadbury secret. And if they share it with people, they're going to get less business somehow.
Yeah.
Right? It's just a small mindset.
Yeah.
Right? So my thing is like open, like straight up,
be open,
transparency, and share the best practices.
Yeah.
So like us as a brokerage, we only allow people that are open.
Yeah.
Totally open. Someone asks you, that's where our culture comes from.
Open door culture.
Yeah. Hey, look, if I know something, I'll share it.
Mm-hmm.
We tell our agents, hey, go teach a class on what you're really good at.
Yeah.
Right? So it's shared best practices.
Yeah.
We never got.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of the thing about it. And even in life, for like you said, life skills, I've been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I've, been through like friends dying, been through divorce.
Yeah.
And I think my thing is just connecting with people.
So you mentioned, I'm going to get to the touchy-feely right off the bat here.
Sure.
Divorce, how did that affect your business? How did that affect your day-to-day? How did that affect your operation as a human?
It messed me up, man.
Lots and lots of divorces happening out there.
I got depressed.
Yeah.
I didn't want to talk to people, and our job is talking to people.
That's your job, man. Yeah.
The other thing was I was in this mindset of the more money I make, the more she's gonna take. Right? So I was like, what's the point if I start making $200,000-$400,000 now? It's just like I'm gonna be going and paying a paycheck to someone that decided to leave me. Right?
Interesting.
I didn't see it coming. So that's all a long story. We don't have to go right into it.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, boom. Now, it kind of fucks with your head.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a side that I've never, divorce, whatever, is not on my mind, but like it's a side of things that I've never thought of, where it would push you to not work, right? Because you're thinking someone else is going to take your money. Why even sell this house? Why even go to work?
Look, at that point,
Yeah.
I had my hand in like 3 or 4 properties. If I had still had those properties today,
Oh,
I'd be like freaking golden. So basically, got to sell them,
you dumped them?
split half, 50-50 on everything, right? I luckily held on to one really good one out of it. But it was like starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Honestly, I went into debt. You know, I went to party mode, was going out, like just reckless, got a condo, you know, found a young girlfriend, you know, it was, you know, I was just like kind of messed up for a while.
Yeah.
And, you know, spending lots of money, and then I just kind of started from scratch again. Basically, I'm lucky enough.
So what made you get your shit together?
Honestly, it was just a phase, you know? Like,
How old were you when you got divorced?
so with the same person, we were together since we were young. I was like 21, 22, and she was like 19.
Okay.
She was a Gori,
Okay.
right? So I kind of broke the rules.
Traditional. We're going to touch on that too.
Yeah, so we were together since we were young.
Yeah.
And then I always thought, you know, my parents want me to marry a Punjabi girl.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, I used to tell her, you know, that, you know, like my parents might expect me to marry
Yeah.
a Punjabi girl. And I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. And then I think that got into her head. She's like, you know what? I'm going to make you marry me.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
push you into it.
Not push me into it, but just did everything.
Yeah.
She did everything.
Yeah.
Like whatever was expected of an Indian woman, she did it.
She did it.
Like she literally took care of my grandma on her deathbed, like taking her to the washroom and stuff.
Wow.
So then my parents were just like, yo, dude, just marry her,
Yeah.
right? Like she's been in our family for like 10 years,
Yeah.
right? So I lived on my own. Like
Yeah.
I moved out when I was pretty young. My parents they gave me an ultimatum. They said, hey, either you go to school, right?
Or go to fucking work.
Or whatever,
Yeah.
work. And then if you're just gonna fuck around, you're not gonna go to school,
Get the fuck out.
move out of the house. And I didn't think they were gonna really do it,
Oh.
right? And I was like, you know what? It's fine. I went. My buddy, what a guy. He was living in a basement, and I'm like, yo, bro, like, we actually got a job at that time. This guy's dad was hooked up with, like, you know, Westons, like the people that make bread and.
Yeah.
So his dad was like the VP, and they had like some like warehouses where they used to do like all the baking goods and stuff, like loading trailers basically, full like pallets of atte diyan bodiyan, right?
That's what you're at.
And yeah, so then my buddy got me a job there, and he had a job there too. It was like that time it was like $18 an hour.
That's big money.
This in 1990 something.
That's big money.
It was more than a nurse or something, right?
Yeah, that's big money. Yeah.
And it was a union.
Yeah. Oh, unionized as well.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. You know, I went to Douglas College. I did general studies. I was never really a school guy. I was not into like studying.
Yeah.
So, anyways, long story short, I move out with my Gora buddy. We're living in a basement and working at this place.
Yeah.
And life was good. We were making good money, but it was graveyard shift and shit.
Yeah.
But like, I thought I was doing all right. You know what I mean?
Oh, $18 an hour was pretty good back then, man.
It was.
Yeah.
So like, I was content there.
Yeah. So let's back it up a bit here. Let's go back to the marrying a Gori.
Yeah.
We skipped over that.
Sure.
Gori meaning out of culture, white person. That's
Canadian.
Canadian. That's Gori for anyone that doesn't know what
Canadian,
that means. Hey. So you got married. So she's been in your family for about 10 years. Parents know her. Everything's good. She's helped you, your family, whatever. You tied the knot.
Yeah, we tied the knot, yeah.
So everything was good. You had a kid.
So, okay, so what happened was, okay, so like I'm going back a little bit there. I moved out of my house at that time. Me and my buddy, right? He was going out with her friend. She used to come around. Then our thing started, right? So then, whatever, we met and we were dating.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, it was just pretty casual at first, but then it just turned into, you know, pretty long term, right? We ended up moving out on our own.
Yeah.
Bought a house.
Oh, good for you guys.
Bought a second house. Bought a townhouse.
Oh.
Just kept on kind of moving up the property ladder. It was an interesting time because first house we got was $220,000. It was one of these 70s built detached home, and within a few years of that time, it went to 400.
Yeah.
Like 3-4 year period.
It's doubled.
Yeah, and then I was like, holy shit. And then at that time, I got one for 220. Then I bought another one for 275. That was rental. And then eventually got into one pre-sale townhouse. So I was like, well on my way.
Yeah.
Also during that time, I fell upon an accidental land assembly.
Oh. Accidental.
It wasn't accidental, actually. Right when I got my license, one of my friends who's been in a family of real estate, he's like, hey, bro, like, you want to get your license? Actually, he lived right here on Caribou. Same, my buddy.
We're up the street here.
Yeah, and we grew up together, high school and all that, right?
Yeah.
And he was in a real estate family. Is that gunshots or?
No, that's fireworks.
Gunshots going off.
Not in Delta. Not in Delta.
Down the police.
I don't know why someone's blowing fireworks now.
That's it. They want to ruin our podcast.
The day I decided to sit out here and actually record, right?
That's okay. That's okay. I didn't mind it.
I mean, it made you feel like you're at home, right?
So he goes to me, hey, he's like, you got your license? He's like, I want to buy a house in Langford.
Yeah. Langford.
This is when no one really knew
You've
about
been up
Langford.
there quite a bit. I saw you.
Well, I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah.
He goes, I want to buy a house. And he knew about OCP maps and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, he's like, this is going to be the downtown. They basically said to me, like, this is like the Wally of Victoria. Right? You know?
It's a put of basics, yeah.
We had Wally.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be high density.
Yeah.
So he's like, I just want to buy a house over here right now. Well, it's cheap. They were like 200 something that time. And he's like, would you mind door knocking? I said, sure. Come down to Victoria. We'll hang out. Bang on some doors. Right? So we start banging on these doors a couple of days. And finally we find this lady and she's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, I'll sell you my house. I'm like, cool, great. And we had been talking to the neighbors. And the neighbor starts peeking over the fence. He's like, you're going to buy her house? So before he didn't tell us he wanted to sell it. He's like, why don't you buy my house too? Right? So my buddy looks at me. He's like, yeah, why don't you buy that house?
Yeah. So
I was like, why don't I?
You guys just bought houses.
So we got two side by side.
Yeah.
We got two.
Yeah.
Now we already knew the neighbors because we had door knock.
Yeah. And you got two side by side.
And we're like, hey, listen, guys, we're your friends. Whenever you're ready to sell, please just sell it to us. Right? So got these two, and then over the years, the next guy says, hey, okay, I'm ready now. And then, you know, got my sister involved. Said, hey, you buy this one. And then we got another one. Grabbed a couple other buddies. You guys buy this one under your personal names.
Yeah.
Right? We're buying them with like minimal down.
Yeah. Back then it was easier.
Yeah. Then we just kind of sat there.
Waited.
Waited.
Rental carried your costs?
Nope. We were eating money. Yeah. Then there was drama.
Between you guys?
Yeah. A couple of guys said, we want our money.
That's where the problems start.
So when you invest with friends, be very careful, because now there's a couple of our friends, lifelong friends, we're no longer talking to.
Over that little,
We told them clearly at the beginning that, hey, we're going to hold it, and when it's ready to develop around here, we're going to either sell it to a developer
or do it yourself,
or we're going to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And they need the money. Life changes happened.
Yeah.
And we were eating money. We were going down there. Fucking tenants trash the place. We go down there.
Fix it up again.
Fucking fix it. Doing our own labor.
Yeah.
And things got tight a few times. So anyways, turned into a lawsuit, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, it went that far, eh?
Yeah, some guys, And, but anyways, moral of the story, lawyers got $100,000 each.
Yeah.
And they still got what we offered them in the beginning. We said we'll buy you out.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, look, majority doesn't want to sell. Buy you out.
Yeah.
This is the market value. Full market valuation. This is what it is today. Here's your lift.
Yeah.
Take it and go.
What do they want?
They start making up shit. It's worth this much, way more. Fuck, it's worth that, this and that. Just what I'm saying is like,
Shit the fan for no reason.
you know what? Like they, it just wrecked the friendship because greed.
Yeah.
Greed got into it.
Yeah.
If they just took the fair deal,
Would have been all
the
good.
lawyers wouldn't have took $100,000 each.
Yeah. You guys all lost.
Yeah. We didn't lose because we kept the property. And
Oh,
now
you
it's
guys
worth like
still own it?
double. Oh yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. So we got plans in the city. We're gonna make that a rental property, and that will be basically like a legacy.
Yep. That's your retirement
Right,
fund there.
So like my vision is generational wealth.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do it like, you know how they just keep on giving it down to the next generation. I want to make it so that like the people in that line, they gotta get to certain goals before they get anything.
So like a trust fund.
Family trust.
Family trust, you, instead of hitting a certain age, you got to do something in life
Yeah.
in order to release that money.
So I don't know if you heard about this thing in our culture. They said there's 3 levels of people, right? So what it means is like our parents came to this country from another country,
Yeah.
first generation.
Yeah.
So they came here, they built something.
Yeah.
They bought property, whatever they did. Okay, so second generation is like us.
Yeah.
So typically second generation, they'll build upon what the first generation
Take it forward.
built.
Yeah.
And then the third generation gets everything handed to them,
And that's what's happening.
and
And they eat it all.
yeah, they have money.
So
They don't have to work. They got money.
Yeah.
And they turn to drugs.
And that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, it's a common story. We've seen it. The rich kids,
They're the ones that are game banging.
they do blow.
Yeah,
They do cocaine, and they sell drugs for like clout.
just to get that not just the clout to feel like you're someone, because they never got that belonging in the household. They always looked for that belonging outside of the household. Parents are always working, building, and your kids going off doing who knows what, right?
Well, parents aren't around. Okay, so like like my parents weren't around.
Yeah.
I got a lot of shit, man. I used to be hanging out 7-Eleven at a young age.
Yeah.
Like me and my cousin, we used to literally in grade 6 and 7. Scott Road Station was new then. It was a new thing. So we jump on the fucking
The SkyTrain.
319 from Scott Road,
Yeah.
because I used to live on Scott Road in like 80th area.
So 319, I remember back then, the bus loop used to be beside on 70th here, but in between the McDonald's and the Save on Foods.
Yeah.
That used to be the major bus loop.
I was here then, man. It was Scottsdale Lanes with a bowling alley.
Yeah.
Now they moved it up to 84th,
Yeah.
but I used to have bowling lessons there as a kid.
Bowling lessons.
My grandpa used to take me there. And that's the one sport my parents fucking put me in.
You must be good.
No, I haven't played it forever. But I just remember going there as a kid.
Yeah.
Right? There's cheers. I think the thing was called Tabasco's. And then the other side of Scott Road was literally a fucking jungle until about 1988.
Yeah.
1988 to like 1995, it just exploded with homes.
Yeah. Well, it was, I would say the Gurdwara was one of the first ones that came.
Yeah, that's right when it began.
Muskeen Group was the ones that were starting to build out here, the first brown developers.
Look at them, man.
No, they're big time now. Yeah. Right? So those guys, I remember even as a little kid, there was still jungles. But then the Gurdwara got developed, and then as soon as the Gurdwara came, and then everything started developing, and then Cougar Creek Elementary came through. Yeah. The elementary school was built in like 89, 90 maybe, I think, is when it was made. And yeah, we lived like right across the street for all our life there. It was crazy, yeah.
I remember growing up, and like we used to just drive into like dead end streets.
Yeah.
There's a party right there. Yeah. Like literally behind the Gurdwara, that road that now connects to all those townhomes.
Yeah.
It was a dead end cut.
There was a drug house at the end there.
Yeah, so we used to call it cut.
Yeah.
There was this cut, that cut.
Yeah.
And then like there was no phones, no cell phones. Everyone had pagers.
Yeah.
And you had to like go to a payphone page this guy the cross street.
Yeah.
But you'd have a code for what place you're going to.
Yeah.
And then people would just show up there. It
It's
turned into like a parking lot party. We had a few warehouses that we used to go behind.
Yeah.
Right, that's one we call the Towers. It's
Yeah.
on like 82nd and like 126. You go in the back of it.
Yeah.
You go down 82nd before the turn.
Yeah.
2 warehouses up. You go to the back, and there's these like, I don't know, some silos in the back.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
There's a park back there. Fucking the crazy guys would climb up to the top, like getting all drunk and
Party
shit.
all night.
Yeah, we were just
The
doing.
cops didn't say much back then either.
Dude, they would just take your booze.
Yeah.
Either they spill it out right
Or in
there,
front of you, yeah.
or they take it to party later. And
They would take it from you and they would party.
of course,
Yeah.
I know like cops and stuff. I'm not gonna mention who, but they drank my booze. You know who you are. But hey, thank God, let them drink it. I don't care.
Hey, you don't get a criminal record out of it. Who gives a shit? Right?
They used to literally let you drive away.
Yeah.
I remember this one story. One day we decided to venture out of Surrey. And we went down to Burn Road. You know where the Cactus Club and all that shit is?
Yeah.
And then we made a left down there, and it was all just jungle.
Yeah.
So it was a dead end. We go, okay, we're gonna party down in Burnaby today. Because we knew some like people from Burnaby.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, let's make a new cut. We go down there. We're just partying, drinking like usual. And you see the cop, like from far away, you can see he's coming. We go, fuck, okay, close the trunk, everyone that
Put it
cool.
away, yeah.
Cop's like, okay, yeah, what are you guys doing? We're like, just hanging out. Where are you guys from? Surrey. They're like, oh, what are you guys doing out here?
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, just hanging out, just talking. And they're like, do you mind if we search the car? Right? So we're like, fuck it, okay. Whatever, right? We're like, okay, yeah. Open the trunk. Bottles are like sitting there, like just like a bar. He's like, interesting how these bottles stand up while you're driving. That's what he said to us. Right? And he's like, okay. He's like, just give those to me. He's like, go back to Surrey.
He's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah? Have everyone's half cut. Fuck, the drivers were drunk. Didn't check nothing.
Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, bye. He's like, just go back.
No, times were different, honestly. Like,
They were.
honestly, times were different. It's a lot. I think it needs to be, as any city grows, it needs to get more. Imagine now, like with how much population we have, we pull up on a fucking cul-de-sac or a cut, and you're sitting there partying.
I was partying here in Corey Park, bro. We used to pull up there, so every park.
Yeah.
You know, Newton
You've
Athletic.
You've been around. Newton Athletic.
Fucking Unwin. Fucking in the bushes over there.
Unwin at least like gives us a side. Newton, come on.
Oh yeah, just straight at the last parking spots and then just down a little bit.
bit.